Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show. Another exciting guest in here. I was particularly caught by the name of your company. I think that's a pretty profound name. Everyone wants to imagine that if they've had something that wasn't at the level they expected it, that it could be restored to that pristine, beautiful level. And so you've decided to call your company I Restore.
Yes, sir.
I Restore STL. That is very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome right here to our guest in studio right now. We get special guests like this all the time, but say hi to him for me. This is Kirk Kupsky. Kirk, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Well, we appreciate you coming in here to our studio. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsors right here behind me. You can see I'm going to go for the wide shot we got right there. We got a new setup for our shortcuts. There's always innovation. We had a software program that expired last night for some reason on Android support. So we're like, oh, we got to fix that today. But we make it work because I'm a techie nerd by trade. But Carroll House Furniture, you can see Brooke. We love those guys, Brooke and Amy. They do such great work in our community. And if you haven't had furniture from Carroll House, then you probably haven't lived in St. Louis for very long. Also, then we like to give a shout out to our other important sponsor that we love. And this is our guys at USA Mortgage. This is the Flowers team. I'll put that up there on the wall behind me. Powered by the Flowers team. And so when you get to where you need a mortgage, and how many people that's something they're going to need, these guys are the best. We've just finished another couple loans through some of my connections and people we've got on the show, but you can see that there's the Flowers team, and we want to give a shout out to them. With that then, Kirk, if it's all right with you, I'm going to jump right to your guys' website. This is a dynamite looking website. We've got it up on the wall here right behind us.
Well, thank you.
Good work there. So talk about it. You've been in this industry for about a decade now.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, that's when you really start to realize when you've made it 10 years, that's when they say you've made it. Mm-hmm. What is it like being somebody who has to go into the house of somebody and say, wow, you've gone through a hailstorm or a tornado or just some major wind damage, and have to help them to recuperate, to recover, to get back to whole. Mm-hmm. And they're entrusting somebody with your expertise to do that. Tell me what that's like.
Well, I mean, first thing, you got to kind of slow everything down. You know, customers, I mean, when there's a big storm event coming through, I mean, people are frazzled, especially if they've had significant damage to their home. They got water leaking inside. You got to be there. You got to show you care. You actually have to, show up on time, keep your word, secure the premises, and then just walk them through the process. And, the insurance process itself and filing claims. It can be difficult. You have to make sure that you say the correct things and deliver the right information, more importantly.
Yeah, well, it does become it's such a valuable asset most people have with their house. And when you're talking about a roof or siding, or talk about everything you delve into, but you're talking $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 in repairs that people have to go through.
Sometimes more. I mean, even commercial projects, you can get up in the hundreds of thousands. So, it's not something that you just want to willy-nilly, if you've never done it before, jump into it. You need to get a certified expert that knows how to assess, identify, and then also correlate that with the insurance companies.
Well, very important. So tell me a little bit about the path that led you here. You talked a little bit about, we talked about 10 years in the industry. Mm-hmm. What brought you in, where you were working, I guess, for somebody else, and then a few years later said, hey, I want to do this for myself. I think I could do this and do a better job. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I was a former insurance agent. I was a farmer's agent. I did property and casualty for almost 13 years and just got tired of that. And, I want to stay in sales. And I always did construction when I was younger, so I learned about construction sales. And just as a regular sales rep out in the field for a few years. And then I finally thought, I could deliver a better level of customer service, installation, and quality, and so we opened our company. Took a shot, and it paid off.
Well, you're serving the whole metro St. Louis area. Great looking website.
Thank you.
Tell me, as we mentioned, what is your passion that fuels what you do here when you really get to help a family go through usually a stressful situation, and what makes it exciting for you?
What makes it exciting for me is saving the homeowner's money. I mean, it's not, I don't try to give away free roofs, but I want to make sure that the customers, they get what they're supposed to get. I mean, the average conversation with us saves you almost $12,551. So, before you go and make a phone call or shopping around for retail bids or listening to your insurance agent tell you to go around and get 3 bids, and you know if you qualify yet, It's maybe better to call a certified expert that can lead you in the right direction and stop wasting your time.
Well, that was an interesting stat you threw there. Sometimes I go off on my own a little bit here. How did you come up with that number? How you save people? That's pretty impressive. That's a lot of money, too.
Over the, it's just the gross amount of sales we divided over the 1,000 customers we've served. So the average customer coming through our door saves over $12,500.
And that's because they would have spent more than that much more somewhere else, because what's the difference there? How do you save people that kind of money?
Well, I mean, if you were going to replace it on your own and you needed a new roof and you didn't know you had storm damage up there, and we identify it and, work with your insurance company to make sure that, you do get your claim approved, and then follow you through and make sure all the paperwork's done right and make sure that they paid for everything they were supposed to. It ends up saving most people around $12,500.
Wow. So, and that's where you need experts to do this. You are a GAF preferred vendor.
Actually, we are GAF Master Elite
Master
contract.
Elite. Sorry, you Master Elite then too, I think I saw. And Master Elite, that's like 1% of.
Well, it's something you can't buy. It's something you have to earn.
You have to earn that.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
a little bit about the Master Elite, because I know a little bit about that. A good friend of mine works with another company, and he's been Master Elite, and he talks about it. There's only a couple of you guys in the Midwest, isn't that true?
Yeah, there's a few of us. We got a couple in Illinois, a few in Missouri. Being a GAF Master Elite contractor, less than 2% of all the roofing contractors in North America would even qualify for the program. Not only are we Master Elite contractors, we're Presidential Award-winning contractors 2 times in a row. So we're actually the best of the best, which, kind of separates us from the rest. Now, being a Master Elite contractor with GAF allows us certain privileges. And because we do our installations at such a high level, GAF is the world's oldest, largest shingle manufacturing company. They've been in business 130 years. Most of the people that get roofs done in St. Louis, call our guy a year or 2 later and they're out of business. Well, and that's unfortunate, but with us, we wanted to give our customers a personal guarantee. And not only that, but have it backed up by the world's largest shingle corporation. So our work is guaranteed for up to 25 years on an installation. And that's on residential. and commercial, it's guaranteed up to 20.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, a lot of people, they don't want to have to worry about this $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 repair that could come around again. And if it's going to be covered for 25 years, that is a huge advantage that you have.
Absolutely, and it's transferable too. So if they go to sell their home, they can transfer that warranty to the new homeowner.
Okay.
So that gives the new buyer a worry-free experience as well. So, I mean, it has lots of values as well. And I mean, not only that, but, if we do install a Golden Pledge roofing system on them, it does give the customer access to our AccuWeather, and we will actually track storms that come through the area. And if their house was hit by a storm event, it triggers an event to us to go inspect it and see if there's any reoccurring damages.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy knows his stuff. This is pretty impressive. Tracking when there's events that might have happened relative to the repair, the restoration that you've completed. So you go back and check on them to make sure that everything's all right.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't do a job and not give good customer service. It's kind of the way I look at it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a delve into a little more of the I call it the excitement, because this is where the world now evaluates everyone, right? There's this new thing, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but you may have seen some of our shows where we do talk about this. So I'll put it up on the wall for everybody to see behind us, too. I'll even take it to the wide shot here, but then we'll zoom in. But you've got some impressive reviews. So we'll start off here, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to hit this, put it up. So we're going to wave to everybody. We're going to disappear, but you can still hear us. But take a look there, everybody, on the screen, and you can see there is I Restore STL LLC reviews. This is where we're just getting started. Better Business Bureau, a 4.84. You have one person where you had to go back. Other than that, you've had, most people average around a 4. You're almost 80% higher than anybody else out there.
Well, thank you.
And getting those kinds of ratings, and that's on a long list of reviews there. And then I noticed too, and
it's not easy getting people to go to the Better Business Bureau unless they want to complain.
I've actually personally experienced that once. Had to go through a whole process. Here, though, your Google reviews, and now Google, obviously, here you're talking, wow, now we're up to 161 reviews, a 4.9. Even a little bit higher average.
Yeah, we're Google guaranteed contractors as well too, so that's nice. So Google's done all their research on us as well too.
And so Google's digging in to figure out a little bit about you guys. Now, what I often do is I go through this and I say, hey, I'm going to randomly select one of the reviews and read it out for everybody. Is that all right with you?
Right ahead.
All right, here we go.
Stick with the 5 stars.
Well, it'll be hard. It's hard not to. I mean, I scroll down. 5-star, 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 5-star. I'm gonna go back to the one I entered. But so this is Mackenzie Wilson. Do you remember Mackenzie Wilson?
Absolutely, yes. We did their facility up in Alhambra.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in on this right here and share it with everybody. I'm taking it off screen. You can still see it behind me. I'm reading it right here from here, everybody. I'll even take off our title there so you can see. I'm going to read this whole thing for you, but you can read it yourself. I'm the administrator of a nonprofit nursing home. Kirk went above and beyond for our residents. Not only does our roof look phenomenal, but he fought for us with the insurance company to ensure they paid what they were entitled to. And even a further response to the hello Mackenzie, that's from you guys. We're so grateful you took the time to share your positive feedback, and so all the way around covering what's important to your clients. I mean, that's a key one. I mean, that's a business. It sounds like, and then it's also the fact that you had an insurance deal going on there. And what percentage of your deals are insurance related?
I mean, I'd say right now we're trending about. Before it was much higher, but I'd say right now we're probably about 60.
60%
Yes,
insurance.
sir.
And I mean that's a good percentage. It seemed like I thought that almost everybody.
I think we're actually getting more retail these days. I mean, a lot of people start off, seeking insurance, but we built up a great reputation. We offer financing, so it's getting almost where it's equal.
Okay, well, and that's the key to this because if you're going to make it, you've got to be able to do because you can't just count on everybody going to come through with a storm, right? Mm-hmm. And so then the insurance gets involved, but you got to help people. Then so that means you're also helping people that are dealing with just saying, I got to pay cash for this. Help me.
Yeah, with this. I mean, as far as retail is concerned, we do just as much retail business as we do storm damage. I mean, we'll always try to help you out and see if we can find money somewhere else for you to maybe offset some of your costs. But in some cases, that just doesn't work out, and then we still have plans and several options for those customers as well too.
Well, that's key to get this done for a lot of people. You've been doing this for a long time. Tell me, I'm going to go off a little bit on my own too. Tell me about personally one experience you remember when you were working with a client. There was an issue, something going on. They were concerned. Obviously, there's a stressful scenario because they're going, oh wait, this is going to cost whatever. And I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but I'm sure you can name a few people you've dealt with here. I remember this particular situation, not that came off of our prefab list of people we pulled from your reviews, but somebody you dealt with. Give me an example of something like that if you want.
The list is long, so it's just trying to pick one situation there. But I would say one that had the impact that most people, I would say, was definitely working with the Hetz home up in Alhambra. That they had contacted us, and we had worked with their insurance company. They came on and did an inspection, and unfortunately, they only gave them a partial approval. So to redo this building would have been in the hundreds of thousands, and they only wanted to pay a few $1,000s to do some shingle repair. Well, after it was all said and done, we got them to take care of everything. And this is a resident full of elderly people, special needs, and they had water leaking in their building. So it was nice to secure those premises for them, minimize their out-of-pocket expenses, and increase the quality of the stay for a lot of people in that home.
All right, well, that's where we're going to go over here and dive in a little bit. So that's where we put on the Cardinal Cowboy hat because when you're doing
it's getting
that's right. When you're doing the community work here, making a difference, you talk about an elderly organization group that was owners there that needed some special attention. Nursing home. Yes. That's important stuff. And while you're reaching out, so we can give you the knuckles on that. I don't think I've done that on the show before, but there's our first. But that's important.
First sip.
That's right. And so that's key. That's important to see how you're doing what it takes to make a difference.
One of the other things we do is roofs for troops, and that's probably one of the nearest and dearest things to my heart. We deal with so many military veterans, active service members, widowers, and because we're master lead contractors, and actually with GAF we have that roofs for troops program. So if you do get a roof done through us, not only does GAF give you a rebate after the installation's done, I match it.
Really?
Yep.
That's impressive. So, all right. So now you're talking into the charity side of the world, and this is Roofs for Troops. Is that what you call it?
Yes, sir.
And so, how long have you been associated with them, and what's
well, since my inception into the business, I started working with GAF out of the gate, and I never looked back. So, I've been working with the Roofs for Troops program for years. We've done several roofs for military veterans who, insurance failed them, and we got some donations put together. I've done probably about 10 charity roofs so far. in addition to, you know, just all the other help we try to get out there in the community.
Wow, that's key stuff. I mean, if you're going to end up making a difference, getting out there and helping our troops or veterans, the people that have actually put their lives on the line, and getting them, boy, they've got to have a nice, safe place to live too. So,
well, if you don't have a roof, you don't have a home.
That's right. That's key. Tell me, what is the one thing you say about your organization that really separates you from the rest? If there's one thing you would say, wow, this is something that we really take the time to do, and we spend a lot of energy and effort making this happen. What is it that really sets you apart?
I'd say integrity is our biggest thing in this business. It's not just about money or getting the most jobs done. It's keeping your word to your customers, doing the best quality work. Okay, you know, keeping your promises, following your timelines, and you know, turn out a great product every single time, and then giving them a guarantee on top of it. And things do go wrong. I mean, you will, you know, sometimes you may see a leak. You just never know. I mean, you never know what the weather's going to bring. Sometimes it's wind related. Sometimes there might just be something that needs to be fixed. But the important thing is the individual that you trusted to do the work in the first place shows back up.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times there's this,
And our response time is usually less than 24 hours.
There was a company that recently got put on blast on social media. They were going in and taking money and then not showing up afterwards to do the work. I mean,
Yeah.
how can you? I mean, that's not going to last very long.
No, it's criminal. And,
But
you know,
yeah, those guys will end up doing a little hard time, likely. But the full integrity and what you offer to make that. Well, tell me though if you had one challenge you had to overcome when you were dealing with, here's a tough situation. We've got to explain it to the customer. I'll let you pick one time that you felt like, wow, we got to make this right. Here's how we're gonna deal with this.
well, I mean, you know, unfortunately, some folks just blindly trust when they set up their insurance policies. And there's a big difference between a replacement cost policy and an actual cash value. And I'll teach you a little bit about insurance here. Replacement cost means they'll replace the entire roof for the cost of whatever the job costs today. Actual cash value means they'll come out and say, well, your house is worth, we would normally give you 20 grand, but because we base your payout on depreciation, now we're going to depreciate 80%, you get 2 grand. And so here you think you've got, you know, insurance to help cover your home, and you don't. So in situations like that, which we've run into, you know, we do have financing to help those customers out, whereas most cases they'd be just kind of stuck or raiding their 401k or going to get a loan. We can usually get you an approval in less than 5 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I was going to ask, do you offer financing? Tell me a little bit about the terms there. Does that help a lot of people out there, obviously, too? Because
absolutely,
this is an expensive.
We use Green Sky Financial. That's the only finance company we use, and I can get you an APR as low as 7.9%, and you can have terms up to 120, 180. You can get same as cash if you want to. Really, we have a number of different terms. It just depends what fits your budget the best.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'd like to take another little opportunity to look at your website and show this off to everybody again, because this is such an impressive looking website. I want to talk a little bit about the services that you offer. I saw your service area, but right here, when we click on the services tab, 2 main focuses, but you can see here roof replacement, roof repair, new roof, and re-roofing. If you would, I'm going to take this off the screen here so everybody can see what I'm putting up there. But tell me, what is the difference between those, and why are those all important, different services that you provide when you're doing this?
Okay, where you got them? Oh, you're right here?
Yeah, you can see them.
Well, I mean, roof replacement, obviously you're stripping it down to the wood, you're replacing everything. Roof repair, in some instances, you may not need an entire roof. You may just need like a new pipe jack or something like that. Or somebody just did a bad piece of flashing. As far as new roof is concerned, that's, you know, your roof shot. We got to get it done, you know. Or you could put, or new construction. We can put roofs on new, you know, some of these builders out there may need guys to do installations on houses they've just framed up. We can do that. And re-roofing, it's not something I particularly like. The reason being is it's hard to warranty anything that's been re-roofed. You know, what most of these guys do is they just throw a shingle on top of a shingle.
Oh, wow.
That's a worst case scenario type of situation. Usually we like to stick with the roof replacements.
Okay. Commercial and new roof and then roof replacement. So very good. I'm going to do a little bit about your area. We got the reviews, as we talked a little bit about, and your service area. And you focus on all of St. Louis, or where is your?
Well, I mean, we're located in our offices in Belleville, Illinois. We had one over here in Gravois, and it was a little bit of travel time, but we're actually getting ready to reopen an office over here. It's my goal in 2023.
Now, where's that at again?
I said I'm looking to reopen an office over here
Where
in
at
2023. I'm actually thinking St. Charles. I think it's
this is a
nice
great
area.
booming area for sure.
That or down maybe southern a little bit, but we've had our office now. We've had a brick and mortar location for our customers to come to. We have a showroom, and we've had that for going 5 years now. Is that right? Yeah, 5 years.
Well, you guys are obviously on the ball, and it's nice to see a company that pays so much attention to doing the job right. You're well spoken to. Communication, I know, is often the key whenever you've got to convey to somebody, here's the problem, here's what we're dealing with, here's the issues, here's how we're going to resolve this. Sometimes your construction guys are a little more direct or not as fluent, but it's important to be able to make sure that the client understands what you're talking about. Somebody with your background. Well, you're on the ball. It seems like you take time to really understand.
Maybe I'll talk to everybody,
So, and learn your business. That's great. All right, tell me, what is it that gives you the most satisfaction? If you had to say, this is what I love the most, this is what really makes me feel good about what I do, what's the one thing that gives you the most satisfaction about what you do?
Well, I'll tell you, just like this morning, we did a roof yesterday for a young lady named Bridget, and she was ready for Christmas. She wanted to get her roof done. It was leaking all over her office area, so we knocked that thing out yesterday. But she calls me today. She's just extremely excited about how beautiful her house looks now and how happy she is. And that was a customer that took advantage of the retail, but we were able to get it done in a quick fashion for her. And some guys wouldn't have done it. May not have redecked the house, but they could have just gone over the old boards. Unfortunately, you have to build everything correctly these days. So, we redecked the entire house, put an entire new wood system down, and then went over it with our roofing system. And it took all the waves out of it. It looks beautiful. Made a complete difference on her house. And she's extremely happy. So, hearing my customers happy and satisfied with how their house has turned out, they're getting compliments from the neighbors. The neighbors are asking, getting that sense of pride and ownership again. That's what it's about.
Well, that's key. Seems like you really have tackled this from all sides, and you really do like. You talked a little bit about the charity that you work with to help troops get roofs.
Roofs for troops.
Roofs for troops. I like that. How do you feel that you do contribute most to the community through the charitable work you do? It's obviously got to be very fulfilling for you to say, "Hey, man, I just put the roof back on a house." For somebody that was obviously having major problems, water leaking in the house, causing water damage. There's a lot of things that can go on there. What do you do? Do you feel like you contribute?
Well, I mean, we like staying active in our community. We like, participating in, parades and taking care of individuals. And, it's not always about putting a brand new roof on. Somebody might just need a little help here. You know what I mean? Here, just, little old lady needs a pipe boot put on, You shouldn't give her a $200 bill. Just put it on. I don't know. We're big believers in karma. And the more you give, the more you get, good or bad. So we prefer to just stay in the good lane.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're on the ball from all angles. As somebody who is a lifetime or longtime member of our community, if you have to give a shout out to one of your favorite sports teams.
Blues.
Blues. Okay.
Let's go Blues.
A big Blues fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm personal friends with the towel man. Do you know Ron a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
He throws out the towel. Sets in section 314. I always remember he's in section 314.
Yeah, right above me in my last season tickets.
Okay. Because he actually 314 is the area code where I always had my cell phone. Then they expanded it to 636, but I kept the 314. But he sits at 314. We went through in 312 the other day, went over to say hi, Ron. But what do you like most about your Blues? What is it about the Blues that helps?
Oh man, so many different things. I love I love the hockey club to begin with. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've been to all, the old Keel, Al McGinnis, Brett Hull. The Game 7 against the Dallas North Stars with Pat Maroon knocked in number, took us to, the Stanley Cup. It was amazing stuff. I mean, I think we've had a great run with that, and seeing them win, finally in 2019 was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
for everybody.
That was cool. I was like, oh, my mom's like, you're going to go on vacation. We're going to spend time with your father because my dad became ill, and I said, well, Mom, okay, fine. It's during the middle of summer. I can miss a few Cardinal games, but the Blues will be out of the playoffs by that time. Mm-hmm. So we'll be all right. And then the Blues, we actually watched Game 7 on the ship. We were on a cruise ship, and a lot to do with that. But great stuff for our community, and it seems like that's something you really pride yourself on. Walk me through, if you would, really quickly. What is the process? When somebody has an issue, and they're going, all right, I need a roof repaired, they decide to give you a call. What do they expect? What are the steps that they go through next?
Well, first thing is we want to lay eyes on it. We want to come out there, inspect the home, make sure, we're not going to throw out estimates over the phone. You'd be amazed how many people, oh, give me a bid. I don't even know what your house looks like. You got to get out there. You got to assess the situation, see what's going on. Then you give the customer an honest assessment. Like, well, A, you've got storm damage. B, somebody put the roof on terribly. Or C, it's just old and it's time to replace it. So we'll let you know which one of those three it is. And we'll advise you the best way to go. If it's insurance, we'll help you file the claim, make sure all the information is delivered properly, meet the adjusters. And if it does get approved, we'll walk you through the back end of the process, because most people don't understand that either. If it's retail, we can get you financed. Anybody can pay cash, use credit cards. Whatever you want. I just don't take IOUs.
I know IOUs. That's a good policy.
I've seen them try, but anyway. As far as the process is concerned, we'll build a 3D map of your house. We'll bring you into the showroom, sit down, go over all the paperwork prior to the build, show you exactly what the house is going to look like prior to the installation. Make sure you know all the products. That's one thing a lot of these guys don't do. They don't even teach them about the products. They'll go by and throw a number at the customer, and they don't know what it represents. We want to make sure you know every component that's going on your roof, because, roofs are a lot more than just shingles. There's several things that have to be done correctly before you even get to the shingle aspect of it. Well, and then once that's all done, we set a timeline and go through what's expected and get it done.
Well, it sounds like you've got it put together in a well-formulated, well-oiled machine, they like to say right there. That leads us to our next thing. We got to honor you. Anybody that qualifies, we say you are now going to be designated as a Cardinal Cowboy community leader.
Oh,
we won't ask you to put this on right now, but you can throw it over your shoulder there. Be careful with your microphone there. But
Two-time
give it up for Kirk,
President Club champion,
being inducted into our Cardinal Cowboy community leader group here. But I'll give.
Can I borrow this when I go to Jamaica, man?
Yeah, that does add a pretty good. Jamaica. You probably.
I got the Ric Flair robe. I think this has set it up.
Excitement you get from a lot of the people there. Well, dynamite to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Give it up for Kirk Kupsky right here on our show, your little castle show, I Restore STL, iRestore StL.com. Best phone number. What do you like as far as your best phone number for people to contact?
I'd say call the 641. We got people 24/7, and just give us a call. And we'll be happy to. They'll take the information and get it to us in real time.
Spend a couple minutes after the interview talking to Kirk about something very important. What happens after a storm hits? Great points that Kirk made for us. Really important to keep in mind. And that is, first off, relax. Stay calm. Go at a nice slow pace, because you really need to analyze what's going on here. Second thing, get it checked properly. Do a thorough investigation of the damage and make sure that you've got everything in order so that you're going to get a proper repair. There's a lot of money that goes into a repair. There's a lot of expertise necessary. You got to deal with a lot when you're going through this. So make sure you take the time to get it done right. Guys like I Restore, Kirk, do a great job. Master Elite, GAF certified. They're the guys that can really help you and your family, your household, to get that house back in positions so that you have a house that is completely restored. Check them out, iRestore StL.com.